What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Come On Mountain. Well, this is a video I didn't think that I was ever going to have to make, but it is what it is, and today we're gonna make it. We're starting out here at the cabin, but we are about to head down to the landing, and we're gonna go over a whole lot of stuff. The news is already out that Mike and Lisa and the kids are moving off Come On Mountain. It came as a shock to me, but we'll get into that later on in the video. We're going to take a little ride on the four-wheeler down to the landing and also the Boneyard. There's a reason why. We'll stop there first, and I'll kind of go ahead and show you. We're going to start with kind of going over what's staying, what's going, what I'm going to use that area for moving forward, and the plans for 2025 for that area. And then we're going to get into why this happened, what I feel about it happening, and did I see it coming, and all of that. So let's go ahead and grab the four-wheeler and we'll head to the Boneyard and we'll start there. We'll go ahead and let that warm up a little bit. It's kind of cold out here this morning. Winter is coming. We actually have an Arctic blast coming next week. But look at that beautiful view this morning, guys. After about 16 days of rain in the last month, well, really more than that, about 16 days of rain in the last 20 something days, it is nice to have a couple of days with no rain and blue clear skies. It needed it. It has been wet out here and it is finally starting to dry up. There's still some low spots that's holding water, but the ground is starting to firm up a little bit. But we got rain coming in 2 days. All right, the four-wheeler's warmed up. Let's head to the Boneyard. Now you're probably asking, why are we going to the Boneyard? That has nothing to do with the landing down there. But actually, it's going to have a big deal to do with the landing here coming up this year. Let me show you something. If you look right through the woods there, you can see the house, and you can see the big metal building that's over their camper right now, right through the trees. This area right here is already cleared out. And there's not a whole lot of trees, especially big trees, in between here and there. So as soon as it dries out around here a little bit, I will be taking Uber and the chainsaw, and I will be cutting a road through here directly to the landing, making it where I don't have to go down the road, go down the big hill there, and then go all the way up that driveway that was put in to get back to the landing. It gives me an extreme shortcut to the landing, and also gives me an in and out where if the road down there has any issues and stuff, I have another way to access it down there. Now, why is that important? That is important because the Boneyard is moving to the landing. the logs and all that kind of stuff will not be moving, because now that I have another big open area, I will be turning this into the sawmill area. It'll be a dedicated spot just for the new sawmill that'll be coming hopefully this coming up year. I'm saving my pennies right now. It's about $8,000 for the saw that I want, so it's going to take a little while to save up for it. But I am saving my pennies right now to get a new sawmill, and I will be putting up that 20 by 20 shed right there that I got from down the hill a little over a year ago in this area for the sawmill. The plan is to have one side kind of opened to a degree and allow the sawmill head to be able to go inside the shop for storage to keep the weather off of it and all of that. And the track will come out, allowing me to cut logs and stuff like that. I will, when I pour the slab for the 20 by 20 building, I will be pouring a little slab that extends out to hold the track, so everything stays nice and level. And it's a big investment to get a nice sawmill, so I want to be able to make it to where it will last a very long time and stay out of the elements. And so it being able to trolley into the shop when not being used and have some kind of cover to cover that opening right there will be a game changer. And with a 20 by 20 building, it should be big enough for me to be able to put like a wood lathe in there and maybe my planer and stuff like that. You know, make more of like a finished product wood for building furniture or siding and stuff like that. So the Boneyard will now be the future milling yard, and it will be situated in between my cabin yard area and what is going to be formerly known as the landing. I will be probably changing the name of that too and come up with its own name, but I feel like this will be a very, very good area for that. And once I park out this, I'll have a beautiful mountain view here as well, and it'll be a good place to sit here and mill some wood and lumber out here. Now, one of the positives as far as the landing goes, all of that we cleared with Uber is still piled up down there, and there's a ton of logs and lumber down there that I will be able to mill, and I won't even have to cut any trees down. So that is a big positive for me. I know a lot of you guys probably think, you know, I put a lot of work in clearing everything for them and getting them down there and stuff, but as far as that goes, that ends up being a positive for me, because now I've already got another place cleared and the driveway cut all the way back. Now, would I have cut it all the way back if they didn't move here? Probably not. It's all the way at the other side of the property, and that is one long driveway to maintain. So and I've already got a lot of road out here that I have to maintain, so that definitely adds a lot to it, which is another reason why I want to put a little shortcut path straight down there. That way, if one of those roads are flooded out, because this is high ground right here, that way if that road's flooded out, I can limit my access on that road, helping make it stay stable longer on those rainy seasons and stuff like that. But yeah, I am excited that that clearing is already cleared, and I am glad that we already got the road done. Mike and Lissa and the kids down there have done a ton of work on the road and brought in rock, and have done a ton of work of clearing trees down there around the shafts and all of that. So that is greatly appreciated and is going to help me a lot in the future. So as far as location and the clearing and the work that went into all of that, do I regret that? No, I don't. I think it's a beautiful location. Like I said, I probably wouldn't have took it all the way back, but then I wouldn't have the mountain views and all of that stuff there. So sometimes somebody else's eye is a different perspective for you, and it ends up working out. But I got a lot of big plans for down there now. So let's go ahead and get on the four-wheeler, head on down there, and let's check it out. As you can see, we got some low spots in the road, a lot of water, all of that stuff still, even several days removed from all of the rain. So drainage on this road is a problem in a few areas. To be such a long road and to only really have 2 concerning spots is actually a very positive thing. I was surprised when we cleaned all of this out and cut this road back that it actually turned out as good as it did. One of the big positives is that Mike has already addressed one of the big issues down there. It still needs a little bit of work. It needs some more rock. It needs a culvert and stuff like that. But where they did the log road down there was definitely by far the worst spot. That was a very low area. But bringing in all that rock and the log and stuff down there really did the trick. It worked out really well. So now it's just something that I need to finish and to go ahead and cut some proper draining as well. The reason why I stopped on the road, guys, right here is because originally when Mike and Lissa were looking for land when they got up here, they was finding, you know, different properties and stuff like that, and I was worried about them just, you know, buying something to just want to kind of get started. That's kind of how we kind of came to the decision that they would buy this. This was the best option at the time, and I didn't even realize that it was as flat as it was down here and as beautiful it is as far as the property goes with the trees and everything down here until me and Mike actually walked it what, a year and a half ago. And wow, so much has changed since then. But one thing that I did is, the creek is right over there, guys. It runs all the way the length of this property right here. This property has the majority of the creek front property on Come On Mountain. And I kept just a small little nugget so I could access the creek and stuff down there on the big side. So to me, this section of the property is my nicest section of the property on Come On Mountain. Up there where the cabin is and stuff, there's a couple of pine trees and cedar trees, but there's not a lot of really nice trees up there, and I'm a tree person. This side of the property here that the Boneyard's on and the landing is on is where the nicest trees and the nicest landscape, I would say, is on Come On Mountain. Besides the new property that I bought in February, the 10 acres behind my property where the hunting woods is, there's a lot of nice trees back there as well, but I want to leave that as raw as possible for hunting purposes. Basically, I sold them the nicest part of my property, in my opinion. Do I regret it? No, I don't. Everything happens for a reason. But would I sell it again to somebody? That's the big question. Like Tim. Would I sell it to Tim? Is Tim going to buy the landing? No. No. I would not have sold this to anyone else at all. I sold it to Mike and Lissa to help Mike and Lissa, to help give them a good start and to have the family close and to be able to help each other out and stuff. And all of that was a plus, and it worked out great. I've helped Mike out a lot down here with clearing and helping get his house delivered and all of that, and cutting in this road, and a couple other projects that we did, the fencing and stuff like that. And he's helped me a ton up there on the mountain with all kinds of numerous projects. So it served its purpose, right? When Mike and them came to the mountain and came up from Florida, I actually called them and seen that they was having a couple of struggles there in Florida with the property that they bought, and offered for them to come up here and come to Arkansas. And I do not regret that decision. I am so glad that they're here. I love having the kids around, and I love having them around, and I love seeing them grow and expand and all of that. So do I regret the decision of Mike and them coming to Arkansas? The answer is no. No, I do not regret it. I'm glad they're here. And I'm also glad that they're going after their dreams. I just love it here, guys. You can hear the water in the background. It's just, I'm pretty excited about getting the creek back. So let's continue on down to the landing. All right, we made it down to the landing, and as you just heard, the dogs were going crazy. Now, if I was to be honest, that is one thing that I will not miss. The dogs are loud. Very, very loud. And before I had anybody living here on the mountain, it was extremely, extremely quiet on the mountain. And that is not the case whenever other people moved in your location. So for me, I guess that would be one of the positives of them moving on, is that it would definitely be quiet when I want it quiet, and not quiet when I don't want it quiet. When you have other people that live close to you, you can't control when they're out moving around and the things that they got going on and stuff like that. And if they're out moving and grooving, well, then it might be a little bit louder than usual. So they're far enough away down here that it wasn't real loud or anything like that, but I could definitely hear it up on Come On Mountain. So I guess another positive for me is that it will be quiet when I want it quiet, and it'll be loud whenever I want it louder. So that's a plus. As you can see, with all the rain, we still got a lot of water down here on the landing. So that is definitely something that I'm going to need to address if I'm going to use this as a boneyard area, because you don't want to store all your stuff and have your equipment and everything down here in a low water area. Look at that view, guys. So that'll definitely be something that I get on pretty quickly as soon as it dries out a little bit. Normally I would say I would jump on lift and get her knocked out, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. A couple more positives. I'm trying to go over all the positives and negatives, guys, with them being here for the last year, and some of the negatives. I'm trying to keep it real on this one. That way there's no assumptions or anything like that. Y'all are gonna know exactly what I think about it, just like I promised. And so I'm gonna kind of do one of those pros and cons type thing, right? To kind of see, was it worth it? And am I glad that they're gone or they're leaving and stuff like that. So I figure that's the best way to kind of do this video. Okay, another positive with them being down here for the last year and a half. Look at all of this rock, guys. The house will be leaving. They will be getting that moved as soon as they save up enough money to get it moved. But there's a lot of rock under there that will be staying, and that's not a low area. So that'd be a good place for like canopies and stuff like that to be able to store stuff, because it's already an established high area with rock there, and it's already been leveled out. Whenever they brought out the rock and all of that, me and Uber actually leveled all of this out for the house and the future one that they was going to bring. So again, it was some work that I did down here, but at the end of the day, I'm going to end up benefiting from it. So the reason why I keep pointing that out is because I don't want y'all to think that Mike and them coming here was like this huge hindrance on me, and with them leaving that they're screwing me over in any kind of way. Because a lot of the stuff that's been done down here is stuff that will continue to benefit me after they're gone. And having rock down here, an established high area there, especially with these drainage issues and stuff like that, is a big asset, because rock is expensive, guys. And that's just a little bit more money that I don't have to put in to get this raised up and where it needs to be. All right, now moving on to all the land that has been cleared down here. And it's a lot, guys. It all used to look like that, but it was springtime and a whole lot thicker. And we have cleared a lot around here. Do I regret all the trees being gone down here? I was messing with Mike and Lissa and told them, you know, if I knew that y'all was just gonna rant, then I would have had a little bit more say in the trees that y'all were down here cutting. But that was just me joking with them, guys. I don't mind all the trees that have been cut down here, clearing it out. I'm honestly probably going to clear out some more of the trees down here. I'm definitely planning on getting rid of the widowmakers and some of this undergrowth, because I've got some other big plans for here, which we'll be talking about here shortly. Now, the one thing I do regret is that he didn't get all the stumps up. So I finally got all of the stumps up on Come On Mountain after beating Uber up with the backhoe so bad, digging them all up. And now it's kind of like I'm starting over, because there's stumps everywhere. So that would be a negative. But at least the trees are down, and I'm not a logger, guys, and cutting trees down scares the what's happenings out of me. So to have a lot of them down is a plus. Still having to deal with all the stumps, not a plus. All right, now let's talk about some of the stuff that is staying here on the landing after they leave. Now, the biggest thing and the most exciting thing for me is that this big metal building that is covering their camper right now is staying, which is awesome. Now, no, they're not just giving it to me. It's not how it's working out. Me and Mike have worked out a deal with Lyft over there, going to their new property, and that being their tractor. But it's not only just Lyft. We did the value of what Lyft is versus what they've spent on this, and then we've also added several months of rent-free staying here on the mountain until they leave, to help them save money for all the expenses that they're going to incur in this move. And it made it to where the value that they spent for this versus the value that it's costing me as well equals out, and they don't have to tear it down and rebuild it, because that is an awful lot of work. And once you tear those things down, they rarely go back up like they went down. So that is a big positive for me, and also a big positive for them, because if y'all have seen their property, and if you hadn't, go over to Drifting Dreamers 5 and check it out. It is a massive field, guys. They have massive fields out there, like huge fields. There's trees and stuff by a creek, beautiful creek. And then the rest of it is all cleared, like field type stuff. So they are going to really, really need a tractor out there with the bush hog. So not only did we work out a deal with Lyft and a little rent-free what's happening to save some money, so they're not paying for the land and paying to live here at the same time. We also worked out a deal with the backhoe that's on taxi, or I said backhoe, a bush hog. So they are definitely going to need a bush hog over there. And as y'all know, I've got a brand new 6-foot bush hog for Uber, and taxi came with a bush hog when I bought it. So I'm going to let him get Lyft and the bush hog to help keep all of those fields cut down, because it's a lot of grass, guys, a lot of grass. And that will give them a really, really essential piece of equipment out there at their new property, giving them a really, really good start, and taking a big headache off their hands trying to keep up with that much grass and stuff, plus build and all the other life stuff that you have. So they're happy with the deal, I'm happy with the deal. So that right there is now mine, and my plan for it is huge. First of all, these trees have got to go, because I will be doing a big lean-to off the top of it all the way across here, guys, for the tractors and equipments and boats and all of that other stuff that's just been left out in the weather for the last almost 3 years since I've been here. And I will be pouring a slab on the inside, finish closing it off with a garage door, and actually make this my shop here on Come On Mountain. As y'all know, I went and looked at this type of building last year and was thinking about getting one. So now that there's one already in place, it's really going to allow me to be able to get all of my tools organized, have some really good tool storage in there, huge lean-to to be able to park and maintenance vehicles up underneath, and tractors and boats and golf carts and four-wheelers, and also be able to store all of my implements and stuff like that. This right here is going to be a game changer, guys. Game changer. So that's pretty exciting. What else is staying? Now, we've also worked out some deals, and we're doing bartering, guys. We're I'm not going to go over each and every little detail with you of what was traded for what and this and that. It is a fair trade across the board. Nobody's getting down. Nobody's you know, getting screwed or anything like that. It's a fair trade for everybody. And it also cuts down a lot of the work that they're going to have to do with taking things down and rebuilding them. So this is another thing that is staying. Their chicken run that Pop's got them. Now the cool thing is Pop's also got me one. Y'all just haven't seen me put it up yet because I didn't have the area cleared where it needed to be. So what we decided to do was, instead of them taking this one down, rebuilding it over there and hauling it and everything else, I actually gave them the new one that Pop's got me, and I'm going to take this one. They're about the same size. Actually, the one that Pop's got me is a little bit taller and a little bit beefier. So as far as quality goes, they probably got the upper hand on that. But me not having to build it and them not having to move it definitely outweighs that. Now I will be customizing this some more, being that it has this netting, as you can see, which works. But I'm actually going to cover the whole thing with chicken wire as well, just to make it a lot more sturdy and harder for predators to get in. And I'm also going to raise it up about 4 or 5 inches so I don't have to duck whenever I walk in there. So there's still some work that needs to be done there. And I'm telling you all this because there's also some other stuff that's going to happen once they move to their new property down here, which I'll talk about here in a minute after we go over the things that are staying. Okay, the fence that they just put up with the patio well shed is also staying. Now it might change up a little bit and it might get moved around a little bit, or it might stay right here where it is. They have actually got another patio well shed that's still in the box that they can put up over there. And moving fencing and taking down fencing and stuff is a pain in the rump shaker. So we have decided for them to keep that. And we worked out a deal on that as well. Alleviate the cost and effort and all of that stuff too. But it's going to be nice to have a pen already set up, especially with the baby goats and stuff like that being born and all of that. What are you doing, Willie? And she's about to have a baby. Eating some groceries. Now Willie is one of those pros and cons. He's a loud sucker, like we talked about it being loud when you want it loud and quiet when you want it quiet. But he is cool. His personality is crazy. He is that's Mike as a goat. I like old Willie. All right, another thing that is staying, guys, is the dog pens, because that would be a pain in the rump shaker to move. And honestly, with that welded wire, you really can't take those staples out without busting the wire and everything else. And the posts have concreted in and all that other stuff, so there is no moving that. That was just a you can have that, uncle, I'm not moving it, and thank you for what you've done and stuff. So that was mighty kind of him. I definitely appreciate that. That's going to give me a couple of more animal pens right off the rip as well. Now let's take a little walk around the back here. What's up, Wednesday? What's up, guys? I know it. I know it. Yeah. Yeah, I know it. You love the attention, huh? And Eclipse is still down here because of the baby goats on Come On Mountain. She's hanging out with her friends. What are you doing, baby girl? What are you doing, huh? What are you doing? You hanging out with your friends? You're like, I love it. She will be coming back up to the mountain this week. I think I took the hardest route over here. All right, another thing that is staying. The yellow temporary shed is staying. Now, if y'all remember a while back, Mike got 2 of these and he gave me one of them. It was still in the box. So again, it's one of the things that they don't have to take down and rebuild at their new property and move it and everything else, because I already had one still in the box. So we took that one over to the new property the other day, and they're just going to put up the brand new one over there and leave their older one here. And I'm going to utilize this one, and they're going to keep the new one that I had in the box that Mike gifted me a couple of months ago. So that saves a lot of work, effort, and also chances of things getting messed up and all of that with the move. So that works out for both of us as well, and cuts down a little stress for those guys of just less stuff that they got to kind of take down and move, but yet they still end up with it at the new property. Now that one will be going. That one we have not worked out a deal for, so they will be taking that one down. So in all reality, guys, they haven't built a whole lot of permanent stuff here besides the couple of fencing over there. So they're not going to be leaving behind a whole lot of stuff that they spent years building and expenses and stuff like that because a lot of the stuff that is staying, besides the dog pens, we've worked out a trade for different materials and money and all kinds of stuff. Like I said, I'm not going to go into the detail of what all was traded and what was for what and all of that. All of that doesn't matter as long as they are happy with the deal and I am happy with the deal. And nobody has any animosity or anything like that going out. Most of the work out here has been a lot of physical work as far as what's staying here on the land, like all the trees and the clearing and cutting the roads and stuff like that. And you know, financially, definitely, like fencing, post, nails, screws, stuff like that, and rock is about the bulk of it. And like I said, the shed, but I think we came up with a pretty good deal on the shed where everybody's happy. And that's definitely what I'm the most excited about, is being able to get a shop here on Come On Mountain and already having a nice head start to do it. So that is awesome. All right, so it's time to the video, guys, where I've kind of showed y'all everything. This is gonna be the boneyard area, and with all the fences and all of that stuff down here, I will be moving all of the smaller animals down here, the chickens, the goats, everything, once they go. And there'll be a lot more secured down here and have some actual fencing and stuff like that. And I will be fencing in a bigger area of this property, going that direction towards the cabin for the goats and future smaller animals and stuff like that. Now I will be putting cameras down here that I can actually access up there on the mountain from my cabin, where I can keep my eye on everything, and just for security reasons and stuff like that. So this will be the new boneyard area and the area for all of the smaller animals on Come On Mountain. Having the pens and stuff there is going to be a game changer. It definitely gives me a secure place for them, and also allows me to be able to separate some of them a little bit. Like right now with the goats having babies, I have Eclipse down here to protect the babies till they get a little bit bigger. Well, if I move the goats down here with having pens and a big fenced in area for them to play and stuff like that, if one of them is pregnant and about to give birth, I can section them off into their own section where no accidents can happen. Now I will tell you one of my biggest positives to the dreamers moving off the mountain is who we just mentioned, Eclipse. I miss having Eclipse running around, and that has not been possible since Mike and Listen, the kids, moved to the mountain. And it's not their fault. It's nothing that any of us thought about when we decided for them to come up from Florida, and all of that was the dog factor. As y'all know, all my OGs has been here from the beginning. Eclipse used to run around and stay in the yard and was in every video and all of that. But then once Halo and Odin got here, there was no controlling her. I let her out of the pen and she literally runs straight down here, guys, and won't come back home. It'd be one thing if she just ran down here, played for a little while, and then came back home, but she won't, and she roams. And when they was together, you know, you got that pack mentality, right? So they started going over into the cow fields and stuff like that, which in turn made it to where we had to secure our dogs, all of us. And that was just something I didn't think about, and slipped my brain, slipped Mike's brain. We didn't even think about that. It caught us by surprise. And basically the dogs have had to be secured ever since, for multiple reasons. So one of the biggest pluses for me is that I'm going to be able to let Eclipse run free again, hopefully. We're going to see. I'm going to have to try to get her back into the groove of kind of staying in the area and stuff, and as long as she's not going over there solo, which she never has, messing with the cows and all that other stuff, as long as she's been by herself, then hopefully I can be able to let Eclipse run free again. And for me, guys, that's huge. Huge. I miss having Eclipse's wild butt running around, coming up, checking me out and all that other stuff while I'm doing projects and stuff on the mountain. So I don't know if with the dogs coming and her so used to just not listening and running, you know, running away and not coming to me and stuff like that. That's another thing. She would run from me whenever she did. She didn't used to do that. But when she would come down here, when I would come try to gather her, she would run, and she's fast. There's no catching her. So hopefully I'll be able to you know, kind of get her back right and she can roam free again. And I know a lot of you guys would love to see that as well, and I am one of them. She has done an amazing job with the goats. She loves it out there with the goats. That's her friends. But I would like for her to be able to run free and kind of hang out around the cabin and stuff again. So huge perk for me. All right, so now this is the end of the video, guys. Let's get to the nitty and gritty of what I really think about it, how it came about, and am I upset or am I happy or any of that. So let's get into that. So I guess we'll start with, am I upset with the Dreamers for leaving the mountain? No, I'm not. It's actually quite the opposite, guys. I'm actually very proud of them. Very proud of them. They have came a long ways since they moved up here in Arkansas, and Mike even more, in my opinion, than most. Mike has came a long ways with his thought processes, with his, you know, the way that he approaches things and stuff like that, and attacks things and stuff like that. Still got a ways to go. You know, Mike's wide open, right? Drifter down. But he's came so far, guys. He's came so far in these last 2 years. And I couldn't be more prouder of him. You know, like I told them, the fantasy of this off-grid life, when you're thinking about it and you're thinking about going after it and all that other stuff, is a great fantasy, right? And you have all these wild ambitions and, you know, dreams, and, you know, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that and all of that. And the simple fact is, guys, is the reality sometimes is way different. And I'm talking from personal experience. I went through a good 1.5 years, 2 years of straight struggle, guys, trying to get to a comfortable point up on the mountain over there. And it was not easy. It was not easy at all. There was a lot of sacrifices, cold nights, hot days, hot nights, a lot of money, a lot of effort, a lot of pains, a lot of working yourself to death, just all kinds of stuff to get to where I'm at up on the mountain right now. And I will say right now, I'm at a very comfortable spot there on Come On Mountain. It works great for me. Still got so much to do, and tons of work and tons of money that's still got to be spent to get it to where it needs to be finished, if it's ever really truly finished, because it's a game plan, not a set plan, right, guys? But the fantasy of it all seems great, but then the reality of it sometimes is shocking, right? And there's a lot of challenges out here, guys. There's still, like, the road is I have a truck. I have a 4-wheel drive. I don't have kids in school, stuff like that. I don't need to make as many trips to town, stuff like that. So the road out there is really not that big of a deal to me. Do I want it fixed? Yes, but it's a very big expense, It's a very long road. It's about a 1/2 mile long, guys. And to bring in that much rock, ditches, culverts, all that other stuff, I mean, you're talking probably $30,000 with it, and you got to build a bridge, you know. So it's a big expense. That's why it ain't been that high on my priority list, because I got so much other stuff I need to do. It's one of those things that I will never probably have the money to just buy, just pay for it and just get it done. I'm going to have to chip away at it and do it in phases. So that right there was a huge issue for them. And when they came out here, and you had the infamous drifter down moment, right? That kind of set them behind the 8 ball right at the beginning, because they lost their truck. They lost their one secure way to get back and forth across that creek when it's raining. And they had the Vibe for most of this time that they've been out here, and now they got that I think it's a CRV or something like that. It's still an SUV that doesn't have a lot of ground clearance and stuff like that, and on normal creek flowing weather they can get in and out fine. But if we have a lot of rain like we've had here recently, and they still been able to get in and out fine with the rain that we've had, because it ain't been tons of rain, it's just been a very consistent rain. Well, then they're stuck on the mountain and would have to call me to drive them across and stuff like that. Another factor is, guys, they got 3 kids that's in school, and this generation here, guys, Wi-Fi and all that other stuff is like crucial for kids. They want it, they need it, and social interaction and stuff like that. They're pretty far out here and stuff, so there's not like kids right next door that they can go play with and stuff like that. So you got the kid factor as well. And then when they first started their journey, they've been in that camper for 3 years, guys. The kids were a lot smaller then, and it was a lot easier to have them all in there and have that close-knit family thing. But as they grow, I mean, Tylen's the size of a grown man at this point. It gets tight, and it gets very uncomfortable very fast, let's say that. And then and that's not good on the family dynamics, right? So am I upset that they're making this move? No, not at all, not even a little bit. I'm actually excited for them, and I'm also excited for me, guys. I'm excited to have another piece of my property already started, and be able to have a vision for it and some key components already in place, and also to allow myself to be able to spread out a little bit so everything's not right around my cabin. My ultimate goal, guys, is to have nothing but cows up on the top part where the power lines are in the open field that we just cleared and stuff like that, and have all the other animals down here, and be able to have my yard around the cabin and stuff actually be a yard, something that I can like decorate and have nice flower beds and all of that kind of stuff, without it looking like a construction site or a farm right next to my house. And I know a lot of people is going to say, well, you're putting the animals so far away from you and stuff like that. I will have cameras, and they will have proper fencing and stuff to protect them. Guys, there's cows all in these fields and other animals and stuff way in there. The neighbors live 20 miles away. It's part of it. I have never understood why people think that you have to have all your animals right beside your house. What's the point of having a lot of land if everything has to be right beside your house? In the reality, in the real world, that's not how it works. Not many people have all of the animals right beside their house, because it kind of smells a little bit sometimes, guys. So as long as they're secure and in secure locations and stuff, it's fine to have them a little ways away from you. So they won't be moving down here unless they're in a fenced area and everything is secure. But yeah, that's definitely coming. It's definitely going to happen. I do plan on parking out this area a little bit more to be able to get some more grass and stuff growing in here, and that way the animals have a lot more to eat, because it is still very thick. But that's going to be a slow process, and just right now is the best time to do it, honestly, when it's fall and winter, because all the leaves and stuff are off the trees and it's less to actually do. So I'll chip away at that, and it'll expand as the homestead expands. Did I know all of this was happening? Let's go over that. No, I didn't. I didn't have a clue. I was just as shocked as y'all was, guys. And I will say, if I'm being honest, that that is probably one thing that did hurt my feelings a little bit. That it just kind of got sprung on me, and I didn't even know that that was a thing that was happening. So that did hurt my feelings a little bit. But I understand. It moved fast. It happened fast. All of that. But no, I didn't know it was coming. They actually said they wanted to talk to me before Christmas. And I thought we was talking about the Christmas Eve party and, you know, seating and where we was going to eat and how we was going to pull it off with the rain and all that other stuff. And they came up the hill, and we did talk about that, but they also dropped the bombshell on me that they bought new property. So I was shocked that they didn't tell me leading up to it, or even communicate with me that they was unhappy here. So that was a little shocking to me. And to be fair, I think they was nervous telling me, because I think they thought that I would have been upset. But I'm not. But I get it why they think that I probably would be. I told Mike and Alyssa, mainly Mike, when he got here, that I'm never going to tell you to not do something that benefits you and your family. I want nothing but for them to succeed. I brought them up here to help them succeed, to help them flourish, and to grow and expand and live the life that they dreamed of, and all of that other stuff. Nothing but positives is why I brought them up here. So why would I expect them to stay here and be miserable and struggle and be unhappy? And you know, and when you're unhappy, you know, the family dynamic is unhappy, right? You know, because everybody's just struggling and just feeling like they're not happy where they're at. So that can't be healthy. So I told him I would never tell you to not do what's best for your family. And he kind of knew that and all of that other stuff. And he kind of felt like, you know, I probably wouldn't be mad, but I think he was scared that I was going to be mad that they was leaving. And that we did all of this just for 2 years, and then they leave, you know. And that's not me. That's not me. I wish nothing but the best for people, and I expect everybody to do what's best for them and their situation and their family. So and I personally think that this move is actually the right choice for them. If this ain't it, and there is a lot of challenges here with the family and everything else, and if the other makes it easier with having water and electric and fiber and all of that other stuff right there, and better roads and all of that, I think it's the best move. I really do. It's great. It's not for me. I enjoy this. I know it might be weird, but I enjoy this. I enjoy the seclusion. I enjoy it not being that easy to get up here to me. I like feeling like I'm secluded and I'm in my own little world. So, but it ain't for everybody. That's a fact, and it's definitely harder when you got a family of 5, for sure. It was hard for me solo. It's definitely hard for a family of 5. They are about 30 miles away from me with their new property. With mountain time and mountain roads, it's probably about 45-50 minutes to get there, which is normal around here. That's local. So they're not too far away. If I have to go out of town or anything like that, they will still help me with my property and stuff, and vice versa. None of that's changing. It's just going to take a little bit more effort on our ends, if they need to go or I need to go, which is no big deal. Nothing has changed. We're in a good place, guys. There's no rift. There was no rift. There was nothing. There was no bad blood. There was nothing building. There was nothing like that. We've actually had a phenomenal relationship with them out here. I've really enjoyed having them out here. I love having the kids out here. I love having Mike run up the hill and stuff like that and hang out and stuff like that. Love having Alyssa here. All in all, it's been a very positive experience for me. I'm gonna miss them. I'm gonna miss them a ton. That's probably the biggest negative for me, is I'm gonna miss them. Not having them here. You know, I was used to the seclusion and being by myself, but now they've been here for 2 years, so it's going to be extremely weird for me to be here by myself again. But it won't take long, and I'll kind of reconform to it and stuff, and it'll be fine. And I can still go over there. And Alyssa was talking about, you know, having breakfasts like once or twice a month, you know, over there, and or vice versa. So that's cool. And I'll still see them all the time, just won't see them every day, which I didn't see them every day here either, guys. They would be busy with their projects, I'd be busy with mine. But me and Mike do talk every day on the phone. So yeah, I'm gonna be sad, guys. I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna miss them. But I'm excited about the opportunity that they have, and I'm also excited about the opportunity with me having another space that's already cleared out, to be able to spread out a little bit more and not feel like I have everything right on top of me. So it's exciting for all, in my opinion. And I'm very excited for the kids, because I know their struggles and stuff like that, so that'll be cool. And they're moving into more of a neighborhood type situation. Now granted, there's still a lot of acreage and all that other stuff, but there's neighbors, right? There's really no neighbors here. The only neighbor that I have here don't have kids and all that other stuff. They're older. There's not really any kids in this area, so very excited for them. But there's a lot of work that's about to happen from now until spring, because the goal is for them, all the deals that we got worked out is till about the spring, with all the finances and all of that other stuff. So there's a lot to do from now until then, and you blink your eye and you're there. So yeah, well, I hope this clears up everything, guys. There's no animosity, there's no bad blood, there's none of that. It's actually the opposite. I'm very excited for them. I'm excited for this adventure for them, and yeah, I'm also very proud of them, because, you know, it takes a little what's happening to just go after your dreams. Sometimes it's scary, right? And it ain't for the faint of heart. And they came out here, they tried this. It was a little bit harder than what they was expecting. They evaluated, they regrouped, and made a decision to go somewhere else and to try to do it a little different. And I can respect that. I can respect that a lot. But they are evicted in about 4 months. Oh, one more thing that I've seen. If I know now, if how should I say it? If I knew that this was going to happen at the beginning, would I still have sold them this property? No. To be honest with you, no. If I knew that they was going to leave in 2 years, and no, I would have kept the area up on the Boneyard area, and they could have stayed there the whole time with the camper and everything else. But I would not have sold them this part of the property, and I wouldn't have done all of this to this part of the property, because there's some things I would have did different, right? This was their dream. Now I'm going to make it mine. But this was their dream down here, so it was going off of what they wanted and what their vision was and all of that other stuff, which took a lot of it out of my hands, right? So I probably wouldn't have. Could they have stayed up there where I had them to begin with, in the Boneyard area? They could have stayed there the whole time. I would have kept doing that. That would have been fine, and just, you know. But probably wouldn't have sold them this. And but everything happens for a reason. Now I have an opened area, and luckily, in my opinion, that they've decided this now, before they got too involved with it, for them and me, right? Because if they would have kept going, then it would have been their dream, and also they would have put a lot more money into it and had to walk away from it. So it's a positive for both that they've figured out that it's not for them, and made plans and moves to get something that better fits their family and stuff before they got too invested in it. They have a lot of money in what they've done out here, but if they started building a whole lot of structures and all this other stuff, I mean, it could have been a lot more, because they was even thinking about like building here instead of another shed. And if they would have done that, well, there's no moving that, right? So so it's better to evaluate now, and you know, make the call and make it happen. It's scary, but hey, they went after it, and I'm proud of them, and I'm here to help them. That's not going away, guys. If I need Mike for something up here on the mountain and he don't have something going on there, Mike will definitely come help me, and vice versa. If Mike needs me over there at the new property and to do something to move them forward, I will be there. That's not going to change. It's just a little bit of it's just a different area code or zip code. Is it zip code? Just a different zip code. That's all it is. No big deal. A little bit more effort to get out there, but we'll still be there for each other. That's always going to be, and that's why we're doing some of the bartering and stuff that we're doing, and they're leaving some stuff so they don't have to take it down and put it back up and all that. And that's why the lift and all that other stuff, because he's going to need a tractor. That's kind of why we're doing what we're doing, because let's be clear, me and DD5 are never going to stop helping each other and being there for that. That's my nephew, my nieces, and my nephews and my nieces. And Uncle David's always going to be there to support them, cheer them on. I'm their biggest fan, guys. I'm very proud of them. I'm very excited for their future, and I hope that this move blows their channel up too, and makes it a little bit easier for them to do everything that they need to do. So make sure you go over to Drifting Dreamers 5 and give them a subscribe. Tell them that Uncle David sent you if you ain't been over there before. But I think I'm going to wrap this up, guys. I just wanted to clear the air. I didn't want a bunch of random rumors and stuff like that, and hatred and all this other stuff out there for that. I just wanted to make a true heart-to-heart video, kind of telling my side of it and what I truly think about it. I think I've been pretty open and honest about everything, guys. I've told you the pros and the cons and the negatives and what shocked me and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna miss them, but I'm happy for them, and I'm excited about their new journey and also mine as well. Love every single one of y'all. Let's go on another adventure.